This is level number 1. I know that's not all, it's just an empty room, but let me show you my thought process for creating the perfect first level. Hey there, I'm Yannick and this is Isarprod. The last week I had a little chat with Domino where we talked a little bit about this game.
Okay, so can you tell us a bit about your game? What is it about?
Okay, right now I'm currently working on a small RPG roguelike style game in pixelart optic. So if you want to know more and check this video out, the link will be in the description. But let's stop here and start with the devlog. I'm currently making a small RPG where you can find a ton of different and weird weapons. These weapons are switching automatically after some usage, so you must always keep track on the weapons that you're holding and using to make the best out of it. In the last devlog, I promised you that I will make the points and collecting the points more interesting. Right now it's just a little glowing, bouncing ball that you have to collect and it's not interesting or visual pleasing. So I changed this. At first I added a trail effect to the point and created this kind of magnetic collecting, so you don't have to run through the point to collect it, but if you're close by then the point will start floating towards you just like a magnet, and it will always follow you until it finally touches you and you collect it. Or if you're just running away endlessly then you won't collect it, but I guess that's not my fault. But something bothered me about the way the points are floating at you. They are always heading in a straight line to the player and I think this doesn't look too natural. That's why I changed the movement system of the points to a physical one, so they are now flying in curves and have drag and physics applied to them, so it's hopefully now looking more realistic and more visual pleasing. I don't know if it is so, but I hope it is. Yeah. Of course we can change the color of the points and I still don't know which color is the best, so I tried a few and have this very colorful color palette of points here. Maybe the color will decide how much points collecting this point is worth, or maybe different enemies drop different colored points. I don't know, I have to think about that. Ideas from you are of course always welcome. But for now I'm done with the point system and enemies now will spawn several points which are spreading lightly in different directions and then you can collect them. Yes, I know that's a very innovative and creative and awesome feature of the game. I guess this is going to be the selling point number 1. I finally started to create some levels, so here it is. This is level number 1. I know that's not all, it's just an empty room, but let me show you my thought process for creating the perfect first level. The first level of a game is the most important one. It must be the most thought of, the best designed and the most polished level of the game. Let me tell you why. Level number 1 is the first interaction of the player and your game, so it has to be as perfect as possible. In this first interaction the player will actually decide if he's going to stick to the game and play it or if he's just gonna stop now and quit the game. If you sell your game on, for example, Steam, then if the level number 1 is bad and the player doesn't enjoy it, he will quit and refund your game and, well, you lose a customer. And if you have a free game, then, well, he will quit and never play it again. So, if level number 1 is bad, no one will ever get to the other levels, therefore no one will ever play your game. Even if the rest of the levels are perfectly designed and really awesome, well, no one will ever get to them. So the first task of level number 1 is to hook the player and let them stick to your game. The second task of level number 1 is to introduce the important game mechanics the player needs to know to play your game. In my game I try to teach the player how to use weapons, how to use a dodging roll, how to open chests and how to collect new weapons. Somehow I also need to show them that the weapons are switching automatically, so the player won't be too confused by that. Let me now show you the way how I try to teach them these different game mechanics. The player is starting with the stick in his hand. This stick is used to teach him how to fight. Therefore I created this orc dummy puppet that he can attack and destroy. Since this puppet can't attack back, there's no fear of taking damage or even dying, so the player can let all his anger out and learn how to fight orcs when they're not moving and not attacking back. But I guess everyone should be able to beat up the doll, so it won't be too difficult at the start and the player won't be too frustrated. To spice things a little bit up, I also created these targets which have the same functionality as the orc dummy and can be used for some further practice on the weapons. To show the player how to find and collect new weapons, I have to place a weapon box in the room which he can then destroy and find, for example, a sword. To teach the dodging roll, I created these spikes, which can only be crossed while using the dodging roll. If you walk against them, then you take damage and, well, you won't get past it. I also created this little switch that you have to activate to get out of the first room and to open the door. And also this happens. Oh yeah. As soon as you leave the room, you will find yourself in this small village. The village is currently attacked by a few orcs and you have to use your prior gained knowledge and skills to defeat the orcs to advance further. This is the first time that you interact with real enemies and therefore you will learn how to fight these opponents. I know these first areas don't look too good yet, but for now I only focused on how I implemented the different stuff so the player will learn all the basics, and in the next weeks I will try to figure out how I can make this part as visual pleasing as possible so the player will really enjoy the start of the game. Thanks for watching this week's video. If you liked it, then you should like this video now and subscribe to my channel. If you didn't like it, then you should like this video now and subscribe to my channel. And if you hated this video, then you should like this video and subscribe to my channel. And if this video was the worst video on YouTube you have ever seen, like this video and subscribe to my channel. I hope I see you next week and bye bye.